time, one of the last things that we think about was about the tools that we need to build an effective partnership with a company to start the program, the practical program of our students in order to become able to give them work-based learning. So this is not only to work in a company, this is something that has to do with building a real partnership between the school or that provider, the student and the company in order to succeed in giving the students real skills for their future. So the first thing that we see was about the forms to build the partnership. We have decided that we wanted to find specific companies that has the idea to build new workers starting from the student period, starting from what they can study at school together with what they can learn inside the company. So for this reason, we have to formalize this partnership. And for that reason, we saw two modules. The first one was this one, the partnership application form. Of course, I'm aware that you have some forms in your country and you probably have something that is very similar to that. It's my aim, my goal is to succeed in changing our ideas, in giving us the opportunity to understand each other in order to better what we do. So I'm ready for hearing what you think is useful, more useful in your experience in order to grow all together. So the first form is about a declaration that the company gives to the school in order to declare what it is going to do for the student. You can see that we can decide whether this partner is a network partner. What is a network partner in this situation? A company that thinks that this is a good idea to do, but without any operational activity. While on the other side, you have the opportunity to have a company, to give a company an operational role, maybe also with a budget. It can be determined or it can be without any determination. It depends on the project. It depends on the opportunity. It depends on the disponibility, of course, of a budget. You can have it or not, depending maybe from the opportunity to achieve, to have some money from Europe, some money from your country, some money from other organizational bodies in the work world. When participating in the project, the company can decide in which specific function its contribution is given. So you can see designing, preparation, teaching, tutoring, equipment locations, consulting, ownerships. This is what we are talking about. But we cannot have any ownership if we do not have any preparation. So, for instance, it is very important to have the company even from the starting point. even from the point we design the individual path for the student, so that the company can really be aware of the skills that it has to give to the student. Then we can have monitoring. This is always to be done in any internship. We will see some modules after in a few moments. Then we have a dissemination of the results. In any program, in any project, it is very important to state what we achieve, what we are able to state, the good practices that we can state after some information, after some experience. Also the bad practice, of course, because if something is going wrong, we have to see it, we have to stop it, we have to change it in order to do something better next time. Then we can have instructional material selection for the students, for instance, to find who is the best person to go to do an internship in that specific company. Co-teaching. This is very interesting to do at school. For instance, in my school, we sometimes send an invitation to the companies of our region, of our country, because we want them to make a real lesson just aside the teacher. Well, it is not something that has to worry us, because this person is just giving the students his experience related to the specific subject that the teacher is going on makes in the classroom. Then another important thing to do is the needs analysis. Maybe we can state that this is the very, very first part of the project. We should always start from the needs analysis, because this is what we want to achieve. If we lost this part, we are not sure that we are really answering to something that is very important for us, for the company, for the students. Of course, a company can choose more than one opportunity to participate. Sometimes, if a company is very large, well built, maybe an international company, it has the opportunity to give us, as a school, more than one help about all these functions. Then we can have a business partnership form. In this part, we go further than in the format we see just a minute ago, because in this by this form, the company declares that it really wants to hire a student to become a professional, to become a person that is making a dual system experimentation, a dual system project. I'm sure that you remember last time we thought about the differences between an internship and an apprenticeship, an internship and a dual system. We have to really understand what is going on under these different words, because these words has a different contract behind them. While we are doing an internship, we are making practice, but the student is basically a student. He or she is not a worker. He is doing some practical education inside the company. While if we are going on with an apprenticeship, the student is more likely to be a worker with a different, maybe also calendar, with a different schedule of the day, because the most important thing is working, doing also the school. Which one is the best? There isn't a best one. There is an opportunity. We have to see what we can do, mm, starting from the legislation of our country, and what is better for the student, starting from the level of qualification, starting from the opportunity given by the company, starting from the competencies that we want to build, the time that we need to build these competencies. Okay. I would like to just to stop just a moment, because I would like to be sure that this first part about the partnership is clear for everybody. And if you have any question for me, it is very important to answer at the beginning of this project, of the lesson of today. Okay. Last time we also had the opportunity to think about the way we come in contact with these companies. Sometimes the company comes to the school asking for workers, or asking for students to go for an internship, because it has the opportunity to have space for them, to have a company tutor, to have activities to give the students, which are good for them because of their level of qualification, and because of what they want to achieve as a qualification. Sometimes we are in a situation to look after the companies, to find some situation that is good for our students, because we do not have enough companies for everybody. And this is one of the school tutor or school project work, project manager, sorry, duty. Please, Abiola, I'm ready for hearing you. I give you the floor.
Okay, looks like you were reading out something, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it, so I don't know if you intend to uh, present what you are currently talking about at the moment.
Sorry, maybe I'm not sure I understand. I good understood the question. You want me to repeat what I said, or to underline something specific?
No, I mean, I thought you plan to actually still continue with the slide presentation. So,
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So let's talk about tutors for WBL. Who is the tutor? The tutor is the person who is the reference for the student. So the first thing that the tutor has to do is to help students inside the school, because we are talking about a specific qualification, a technical and professional skill that has to be practiced, that has to find a practical feature inside the company. The tutor is always the point of reference. So it is very important that this person knows exactly what he is going to do, is what the individual path is aim for, in order to follow the students in all the steps. On the other hand, the in-company tutor is a professional that already works inside the company. He or she is the other side of the money. He or she is the person who has the responsibility of the practical training. So he has the responsibility for the professional development of the student. How can the tutor do this work? Well, the first way, the first instrument that the tutor has is the individual interview. By the individual interview, the tutor has the opportunity to better know the student. Of course, maybe he is already the teacher in a specific subject of this specific student, but this is not this is not compulsory. It is possible also to choose a tutor who is not the teacher of the student. So, moreover, he or she has to learn more about the student, to verify what the student really knows, what the student is able to do, what are his preferences towards the professional profile. It is important to ask the student, because we want to find a good solution for the individual growing, and we can do that only if we start from the individual issues of the person. Maybe the students are young. Maybe this is their first experience inside the company. And in a particular way, it is important to make an individual interview if they are starting their experience from this internship. In this way, we can really give the opportunity to the in-company tutor to follow and support the student in every situation, and to monitor the results that the student is able to achieve. So we go a bit deeper in this research. What is the profile of the training tutor? It has to be, he or she has to be a person that has a very good professional experience. We know that when we start, well, I clearly remember when I start my work experience as a teacher. I had a great enthusiasm toward my work. I had a great enthusiasm toward what I would like my students to achieve an expertise, as a skills, professional skills, soft skills, but I had a completely lack of experience. So the first years of school were quite a bit difficult to me because simply I didn't have the experience to cover a role that was a new one for me, because previously I was myself a student, and you change completely the way to behave in order to better follow your role. So maybe it is better if the tutor is chosen between a person that already has at least some 1 or 2 years of experience inside the school. He or she has the opportunity to better perform the role of tutor. If it is not possible, it is very important for the newcomer teacher and tutor to have some senior tutor to follow, in order to find some lines of activity, some lines of behavior, both towards the company and towards the students. This person has only to be empathetic towards the students. He has to understand whether they maybe are afraid of a new situation, are afraid of asking something that they don't know inside the company. This is something very, very normal. It happens every year in my school, and I think it's exactly the same in your school. The tutor has to have the sensibility to go to speak with the student and to push him or her to ask, to make questions, to show their situation in order to better their training, because this is at least the aim that we have to go on to reach. How can we motivate our students? I'm sure that you remember last time I showed you a form. This form was one of the form in which the students can state what are their expectations towards their daily work, their daily routines, their daily activities. It is important to start from what the students think in order to give them a reinforce, or to give them the opportunity to change their mind towards what they are going to do inside the company, and to motivate them in order to make them aware that they have the skills necessary to go on with this experience. Another way to motivate the students is making them know what is the final qualification that they can achieve through this training. And this is what we are going to do using another form that I am going to show you in a few moments. Then another important thing that we need to do as a teacher is to assess what the student is learning. The student maybe has not a real idea, a clear idea of what he is learning. Maybe he or she only see the specific activity. We have to drive him or her to see all he or she can find around this activity. For instance, the relation between the senior workers, maybe the relations between the boss and all the other people working inside the company. The relation between us as a teacher, as a school teacher, and the company teacher. If we help the student to see all these situation, to better know maybe the equipments that he or she is going to use during the training, to better know the procedure, to better know also the places. A company is very different from a school. We have completely different spaces, we have completely different situation. All these things are skills, new skills for our students. We have to help them to see this skill. So, activities of the training tutor. The training tutor is designed by the, I wrote, the promoter, by the school, by the vet center, by any, even by the university, because you can have a training tutor also in the university situations. He or she manages the development of the project and guarantee the correct development in the experience, monitoring the training course and verifying its consistency with what is indicated in the training project plan. So, is it exactly as when we state our didactical units, when we prepare our course, we have a program and we have to see whether this program is going on in the correct timing, and maybe we have to stop on a specific subject for more that we decided to do. Maybe another one, we have to go through it because we do not have so much time. And this is exactly what happens inside a internship. We have to look after the specific steps that we state at the beginning of the project in order to see whether every step is done and in which way. So, every tutor, another important thing to say is that every tutor has to have a maximum number of trainee to follow. It is very difficult if we have a very big number of students to follow, because we need time for each of them. We need to concentrate on each of them. So, for instance, in my school, every tutor has no more than 10 students to follow, because we have seen that this is the maximum number of people that a single tutor is able to follow in a good way, in a practical and effective way. The company tutor has a different task. The first task is to make the students be a part of the organization. So to explain him or her what is the place work like, where to go to change the sorry, I can't remember the name, the divisa, the formal the formal way to wear, where to go to have lunch, for instance, if everybody has a canteen, if there is the possibility to bring something with them, where to go to us for a stop, how to use devices, how to use facilities inside the company. Maybe the company tutor is not the person that is always aside the student. Maybe is somebody who has a higher degree inside the hierarchy of the company. So if this happens, the company tutor has to verify the work of the student in a very regular way, in order to be a real reference for the student. At the end of the path, the company tutor makes an assessment, a general and overall assessment on the result of the work of our student. We will see an example of a questionnaire that can be used by a company tutor. Also, for this kind of tutor, it is necessary to have some experience. It is important that he or she has the professional skills in order to ensure the achievement of the goals that we state in the individual path. Even for the company tutor, there is a maximum number, which is smaller than the one that we suggest for the school tutor. We suggest that every company tutor follows at maximum 3 students at the same time, because it is something that goes just a bit outside from the main work of the tutor, but it hasn't to be something that is done in the spare time. It has to be something that is done in a as a duty, as something that is seen as important as the work. The company tutor can participate in the selection of the student. Is an opportunity. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it is more difficult because there isn't a real selection. There is an interview, a starting interview. The opportunity to get in touch with the student before the starting of the internship is very important, because Thank you, Viola. Thank you very much. I hope that this situation is quite new, that I'm not muted from the very beginning because it would be a problem for the lesson. Could you hear me, Maura? Please, Ibrahim.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I was worried about. Okay, so I will start again from. Okay. So we were talking about the company tutor. The company tutor can participate in the selection of the student. It's an opportunity. If he or she cannot do that, it is very important to organize an interview before starting the internship period in order to give our student the opportunity to get in touch with the person that will be his or her reference during the practical activities. Then the company tutor has the task to monitor what the student is doing. He has the duty to give orientation to the trainee. We see the students in a school situation. We know, starting from our subject, sorry, Toop, I give you the floor.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. My question is a very short one. Now, I live in Lagos, Nigeria, where many companies are not so interested in contributing to the early training of students. So they prefer to wait until the students have graduated and they just come and do the interview and go. Now, in such a system, a lot of pressure is on the third party, maybe well-meaning individuals or some corporate bodies to sponsor these students. And it's not sustainable. What do you advise because we've been trying to get these companies to uh, get involved at the early stage of the training of the employees, because eventually they will be the beneficiaries. So how do one go about getting them interested? Because in other countries, like in Germany, I think the companies are heavily involved from the beginning of the training, the typical dual training system. Thank you.
Thank you, Topo. So I try to answer in this way. What we normally do when a company says us, well, I prefer to wait till the end of the qualification in order to have not a student, but a worker. We try to make them thinking about the fact that we can choose the worker before other companies. While doing the internship, they can have the opportunity to give to get in touch with students, knowing them, giving them the training that they have to do them after at the beginning of the working period without any cost. Because if they wait until the time they hire the worker, they have to give him or her a wage, of course, and then to give him or her a training. There isn't any opportunity to start a work without at least a short period of training. So Why don't you do this training period, practical training period before working? While the student is still a student, you don't pay anything. You have the opportunity to know here or him or her, and to have the opportunity to choose the person that is the best for your organization. I hope I answer you in a useful way.
Yes, very well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I go on. I have another question or a contribution. Please, Ibrahim, I give you the floor. I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, thank you,
Nice to
madam,
meet
for
you.
the opportunity. Nice meeting you too. During your presentation, you mentioned about a company tutor must be well experienced in terms of skills. And this is the case that when you look at Africa or Ghana, a company might have three different trade areas, not only one single trade area. It can have a mechanic, that's automotive, welding, and then maybe let's say machine shop. Three. But this is the case that the company tutor must be well experienced to assist in case they are picking someone, they want to employ someone. And this is the situation, maybe they've taken only one supervisor, and the supervisor has an in-depth knowledge when it comes to automobile, that's mechanics. By comparatively, if you have to take welding and then machining, is no good. In such situation, what are we supposed to do? That's my simple question.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So what I suggest is the best situation, of course. I personally know that there are some companies in which you do not have a well experienced tutor. For instance, it is the owner. Sometimes this person, he doesn't even know exactly what the student is studying, because sometimes, you know, also in Italy we have many entrepreneurs that are self-man. They had no school. They only had an idea. They started from this idea. They don't even know what the student is studying practically. So this is the reason, because we need to include the company tutor just from the very beginning of the individual path. Because if we can explain him or her what the situation is, what the student is able to do, and what the student is not able to do, which is very important, because sometimes they think that they can do everything. And also in Italy, we start to say them, oh, this is for the oldest person. Well, one of the questions for me is, I would like somebody who has electric and mechanic skills. And I say, I don't have any, because you have to choose the mechanic or the electric, because the school doesn't mix these two skills. But you can do that. You can do that during your internship, during the internship in your company. Do you prefer to have a mechanic or an electric person? Starting from what the company tutor thinks that is easiest to do for the student. They are not worker. They have to learn a process. They have to learn an idea of how is going on working, because they are students. Sometimes they are very young. I don't know, 14, 15, they are young person, which is a very good thing to be, but they have to learn more. So the company tutor has to understand what they can do and what we as a school can give him. Maybe from this situation can start a partnership. I don't know. I say you an example. I send one of my student to a company, and the company tutor told me, oh, this student is not able to understand the mechanical drawing. The mechanical drawing has some symbols, and he is not able to know what these symbols mean. And so I told him, why don't you come to our school during my lesson just to say to all my students what this symbol means. So next time the trainee will have this skill and all my students can grow as a competence. I hope I understand. I give you some ideas at least. Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay. So I go on with my presentation. I see that maybe there is another, no, participating. Okay. So for the teachers that are newcomer in this lesson, we are talking about the company tutor. Coordination with the training center. That was exactly what we are talking with your colleague, Mr. Ibrahim. We have to make a real partnership with companies because sometimes the company world is far from the school world. We have to make them closer, starting from something that is practical, something that is possible for them to understand in a clear way. Then we have rating. It is important that the student understand that it is possible to have a rate, to have an evaluation, even from the company tutor. Well, not about technical skills, because we are aware that students have to learn them, they have to practice them, they cannot be rated on that, but they can be rated on other skills, some soft skills. For instance, how it's going on with the collaboration with the other workers, how is going on with listening to the instructions, how is going on with coming at the right time. This is a problem sometimes. And then at the end, the company tutor prepares a sort of report of the performances of the activities carried out. Also for that, we have a form that I can propose you, and you can adapt it to your reality. You can choose the parts that you think are the best one for your situation. So, define verifiable competencies through WBL. This is exactly what we want to define an individual training plan. This is the most important process of learning for the student inside the company. What is the company, is the student doing exactly, and why? If we start from the objectives, it is difficult to find the task. It is easiest to start from the task and to define as a consequence the goals that we want to acquire. Of course, at the end, we have to have a good list of competencies. We have to achieve a good list of knowledges and skills for the student. This is the reason why not all the companies are good for training. It happens, sometimes it happens that the company is not using the student in the right way. For instance, we know that one of the tasks can be to clean the workplace. It has to be one of the tasks and for a small time. This is good because the student understand that the workplace has to be cleaned. It cannot be the only task given to the student. It cannot be the only task because there isn't a full range of goals to be achieved in this way. For this reason, we have to look after what is going on exactly in the companies, starting from the point that we think that they care, that they really want to give the student an opportunity during the school time and after the school time, because nowadays students are future workers. Companies has to be aware of that. Be aware that this is just a part of a full path, at the end of which there is the opportunity for them to find the best workers. Companies are made by workers. They are not made by instruments. You can buy an instrument, but if you lose the skill of a specific worker, sometimes the instrument is unuseful. Well, the training plan is the fundamental tool. We formalize this path. We state which are the professional skills, the technical skills, the soft skills, what in relation to what we want that the students acquire at the end of the qualification. These individual training plans describe the training project, describes what is carried out during the period. Who prepares the individual training plan? The institution. We can involve, of course, the company, but we have to define it because companies are not used to define an objective, a skill starting from an activity. They only consider activities. It is quite normal. It is, I guess, it's normal everywhere. It is not something that we have to about what we have to blame them. We have to be aware that this is not a role. They can make it with us. They can say, oh, this activity is okay. This is far too difficult. For this one, you need experience. For this one, you need a knowledge. Does the student have this knowledge? Yes. If yes, he or she can do it. If no, it is better only to watch it, only to have the opportunity to see somebody doing that. And you can learn from your eyes. At the end, it must be signed. because it is like an agreement. We prepare ourselves to have a line of activity. We can explicate that to the student. We can listen to his or her questions about the activities. We can also make some changes, something in additional, but everything has to be signed by all three parties, so by the school, by the company, and by the student. I introduced this role, the project manager. We talked about him or her last time. The project manager is a sort of coordinator of the tutors. He is the person that maybe has the opportunity to sign for the school. He can be the school director, or he can be a collaborator of the school director in order to develop all the trainship, to define all the objectives in a complete program. You also have to consider that the project consider the specific trainee and specifically consider the trainee starting from the very first period of the project. The very first period when the student comes to the company and understand what is going on in this very different situation from the one that he was used to have. Inside the individual training plan, you find the objectives. You find the calendar, you can find the methodologies, you find the tools. I will show you in a few minutes. You find the methods and the tools that will be used to verify what are the skills that the internship gave to the student. It is not something written on the wood, on the iron. It must be flexible. It must be adaptable. It has to have the opportunity to give you changes, because sometimes the concrete situations are very different from the one that we planned. I clearly remember the period, the COVID period. In Italy, we closed for 6 months everything. And then from the period before and after, it was very difficult for the students to go inside the companies. So all the individual training plan had to be changed to adapt to a situation that was completely unexpected, but that we couldn't change in any way. We had to prefer simulations in order to give the students at least an idea of the methods, of the tools, of the way they could work inside the company, inside the real companies. So, which are the minimum requirements of the individual training plan? It has to state the personal data of the trainee, the company of the training tutor, and the in-company tutor. It has to consider the duration of the internship or trainship contract and the working hours from Monday to Friday, from 8 to 12, and then from 1 to 5. Exactly. This is also for an assurance reason. Then it has to state the learning outcomes, the goals, the skills, describing in a specific way all the methods that will be used. Eventually, if we are going to make some intermediate assessments, because sometimes the internship is a long period, so we cannot wait 3 months at least, or 6 months or 1 year in order to see whether the internship is going okay. We have to do something intermediate in order to change, adapt situation if the learning outcomes, if the course are not going to be succeeded in that way. We also have to make some, to state what is going on if for any reason the internship has to stop, or if there is a problem for the school situation. So I would like to stop now and to ask for questions before going on with the modules, because I would like to show you the modules in order to see practically what are the steps of what I am talking to you. Is there any question or contribution that you would like to give me and the group? No, it's okay. Perfect. So last time I gave you this operational skill as an assignment, as a possible assignment for your students and an assignment for you. I start from an example. This is a hairdresser. And I would like you to think about how you could personalize this module for your specific professional area. In this module, you can see there are some operational tasks and some instruments. Some of the instruments are common for all the situation. For instance, if you think about company quality standard, this is something that is valid for every company. I'm not talking about quality standard as something that you have to certify. It is the normal idea of quality of the owner, of the boss, of the person working inside a company. What make him say that this is a good result of the work. If they have to prepare a car, to repair a car, how do you say that the car is repaired? Simply because you turn a key and it goes, or you have to have some other situations, no noise, for instance, nothing on the outside of the car. I don't know. Every company has its specific quality standards. Then, of course, for every company, you have current legislation on safety, hygiene, and the environment. Every professional area has its own specific standards about that. Maybe you have a general standard, and then you have to verify, you need to verify how to adapt it on the specific professional area. Then, of course, you will have tools for technical services. Every tool in the company, you can state it. In this module, you can define exactly what you need. Also, the last one, manuals and instruction booklets of tools and equipment in the sector. Maybe that specific tools needs to have an instruction booklet, and it is supposed that the person using it knows what is written inside the instruction booklet. But the student is brand new, he is not a worker, maybe he doesn't know how this instrument has to be used. So it is the role of the company tutor to be sure that he is using everything in a safe way. Okay, I make it bigger so we can read it. Okay. This is the arrangement. The arrangement between the company, the company and the vet provider or the school. This is specifically for the vocational training. As I say you before, you at least have to have the information about the trainee. This is normally on the specific paper of the company. So you have the stamp of the company, you have the logo, you have the information on about the address of the company just on the paper. Let's read it so we can share the content of the module. The leading company and the partner company agree on a collaborative training for the trainee mentioned above. The partner company, that means the school, itself commits itself to provide the skill and knowledge listed in the training plan and coordinated with the leading company, that is the company that acquires the trainee. The attached training plan is a component of this agreement. You see, this is the agreement, not the general one that we saw before, but the specific one for this specific trainee. The duration of these training sequences comes to, so in this example, you see that we state, we decide to have the same company for all the years of training. You can choose to keep only one line and to, for instance, to have only the second line, 4 weeks in the second practical training year. It is not compulsory to have the same company hosting the same trainee for all their years of school. In my opinion, it should be better to change, because during the school, the student has the opportunity to have an orientation about what he or she thinks is the best for his future work, starting from the opportunity given from the school. So you see, the following training contents are trained in the partner company. Of course, the company is not a school. It has a completely different role. So we have to state what the company can teach to the student. what the company can give to the student as a skill. And we write it. About the respective appointment of these training sequences, the contracting partners agree which each other one on their own time. Rights and duties. Why do we have to state rights and duties? Well, we have to state rights and duties because we do not have any contract. We do not have any working contract in this situation, in this specific situation. So it is important to write what is necessary to make a sort of square, a sort of general drawing on which you put the training. The leading company, the school, has informed the trainee about the training in the partner company. The partner company takes the trainee in its company community for the duration of the respective training sequences. During this time, the operational order of the partner company is valid. So it is supposed, and we have to talk about that with the student, that during the time that he or she is in the company, he has to follow the operational order of the company. And it has to know it, of course. When we are in the school, we have our rule about what a person can or cannot do inside the school building during the lessons, during the free time, I don't know, from the morning lesson to the afternoon lessons. Inside the company, it is the operational order that makes the rule. The partners immediately inform about essential events that influence the relation of the training. If one morning the trainee doesn't inform the company of his illness and simply he doesn't show, he makes a no-show in the company, it is important to know that as soon as possible, because we have to understand why it happens and how to make it not to happen again. I don't know, maybe underline to the student that it is very important to give a call to the company tutor, which is not what he or she does when he or she goes to school. A no-show in the school is an absence. A no-show during the internship is a problem because we don't know where the student is. It is a question of responsibility. It is a question of skills to learn. It is a question of respect towards the company and towards us as a school tutor. This is an example. Maybe there are other examples you can think about. We have to give the company tutor the responsibility to call us if there is any problem going on as soon as possible, so we can do something to change the situation. The partner company can terminate this contract for important reasons. Important reasons are given, for instance, if the trainee offends deliberately against the operational order or the trainee damages the reputation of the partner company by his or her behavior. Students are very used to use social networks for their communication. Last year, there was one of my students that made a video during his internship, and we, as soon as we knew that, we asked her to give it away immediately from his social network, even if it was only towards the strict friends, because for this by this situation she could damage the reputation of the company. It was something very, very difficult to understand for her, because she simply said, I was just showing people what is going on. Well, you can't. You can do it. You can do it when you are at home, but you cannot do that while you are on an internship. Students are to be aware that there is a law that can protect the company and can damage them if they do something which is not legal. About negligent divergent methods, in particular by changes of the situation and the duration of the training segment at the partner company arrangements, will be met on time. So as I saw you before, you can have a flexible agreement, especially on things that sometimes you cannot be sure about. We are not sure to manage because they are not depending on you. The contract is executed in 3 copies. Every partner receives 1 copy. The third copy received the competent body. So here you have the signature of us as a school or a provider. We have the signature of the partner company hosting the internship, and we have the signature of the student. Any question about this form? No, perfect. So let's go on. This is a short training plan. We will have a larger one in the following lesson. Maybe you know that the 2 following lessons will be recorded. They are not directly done by me because of a changing of the calendar that was previously planned. You will have a larger section about the training plan. But even for a short training plan, here you have job profile positions, objectives, or occupational standards. For instance, here you can stand knowledge of professional behavior towards the principals, contractors, customers, parties, clients, and suppliers. This is one possible objective. So what is the aim of the course? Communication with the students. How is the training aim reached? It has to be reached by this date. We state a lasting date, a final date, in order to have the opportunity to assess whether the objectives are achieved or not. And here you put apprentice, training occupation, year of training, and the instructor, the teacher. You repeat this first line for many lines. For instance, in this very easy individual training plan. Okay, I will show you a more complex one in the next lesson. If you want to have another template, you can have this one. Occupational standard, skills, knowledge, behaviors, other. How is the training method? When this the delivery is going on, who is in charge of this delivery, and where it is going on? In which way you have a quality assurance? So how do you think that these skills is really reached? And then what is the kind of assessment that you plan to assess this skill? Formative, on program, endpoint, practical, you can have any time of assessment. This is only an example for you. So let's see, for instance, about this situation. The competence is preparing tools and equipment necessary for a different phase of activity. Okay, so this is the competence, the capability to prepare tools. You can put it as a skill, preparing tools. Okay, how is the training method? A practical one. When this going on? During the first part of each morning, at the very beginning of the word, from 8 to 8:30. Who is doing that? The trainee together with the training tutor. The trainee in alone, just to find a practical way, because we taught it at school, so he or she should be able to practice it without a control. Where? In the workplace. Quality assurance. At the end of the first period of the morning, all the tools are in their correct place. How do you assess that? A practical watching by practical control, monitoring by the training, by the company tutor. Behavior related to that, to be very specific, not to lose time, to be accurate in preparing tools. These are possible behaviors. Training methods. Showing the first time and then watching the result. When, who, and where are the same. Quality assurance. The personal judgment of the company tutor. Or if there is something related to the how. If there is something related to the timing, that can be maybe a correct time to prepare. The company tutor is a very skilled person, is a very expert person, and maybe he or she is able to prepare tools in all the tools in half an hour. Maybe for the trainee, we have the opportunity to give more time to enlarge this space in order to give him or her the opportunity to do that in a good way. Isaac, I give you the floor, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam. I want you to throw more light on the behavior column, where the behavior is. I want you to go back again for me, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
With pleasure. So the behavior is a description of the way in which the trainee makes his or her work. So we can do everything in a different way. For instance, it is necessary to do that in a quick time. This is not related to the skill. This is not related to a knowledge. This is related to a behavior. If we need to do a specific operation, a specific action in a certain time, we need to give the trainee the methodology, the way to succeed in achieving this behavior. So if we state that the skill is to prepare tools and the behavior is to prepare tools in time before something happens, before workers start the production of a series of objects, for instance, okay? We need to state that we need to know how is it possible to give the trainee a methodology, a training methodology to succeed in doing that. We start from the thinking that the trainee is a young person without any experience. So exactly as during something regarding his or her life, he or she can choose a specific behavior to act. This is exactly the same inside the school, but inside the company. But the difference is that in this situation, there is a behavioral guide, a way in which the skills are more effective. I hope I was clear enough about this description.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. Thank you. Do I have any other questions? Okay, I go on. Record book. This is something very useful. It is something that we can give both, well, sorry, I start again. The record book is a very useful instrument that you can use because it is a sort of a way to state the achievements that we can have during the training inside the company. For instance, we have in the mechanical sector welding. During the internship, the student has the opportunity to follow a short welding course regarding a tool that we do not have at school. So for this situation, we have the opportunity to state exactly what the instruction was and what is the result to certificate in a certain way that. Please, Mr. Buoma, I give you the floor.
Okay, so mine has to do with. I'm sorry for going a little bit back. Mine has to do with the question Mr. Isaac asked about the behavior of the learner. So I wanted to ask that how is it even necessary to assess learners' behavior, and if yes, then which mode is it by using a performance checklist to assess them, or is there any other way to assess their behaviors? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Buoma, for the opportunity to talk a bit more about that. So maybe instead of writing behavior, we could state soft skills. And if we change the term behavior with the soft skills, it is immediately clear that we consider these soft skills very important for our students. We also consider the behavior very important, but maybe it is more difficult to understand for the company. If we have doubts about that, it is good to say that, because we can, as I say you, this is only a suggestion. My models are not supposed to be the best one. If we see that there is something that we can better in them, so let's talk about that. So the proposal that I give you is to change the word behavior with soft skills. In this way, we can state exactly the soft skills that we consider the most important one. For instance, we can state problem solving. Problem solving. How do we can train the trainee to? I show it in a. I try to have both. No. Allora. Okay. For instance, we put here soft skills. And for soft skills, we say problem solving. Problem solving, I hope you agree with me, is a behavioral way of considering a situation. We consider a situation, we see that there is a possible problem, a possible issue to go through, and we try to find some way. There are different opportunities to solve this problem. So how is the training methodology? We can go for true false. We can consider the possible errors. We can analyze every single step that had as a consequence the situation that we consider a problem. The training method can be many. We can do team building, gamification. We can do whatever we want. Maybe in the company, it is not so easy to find any training methodology. The company tutor is able to tell us how he consider the correct way to train the student. Maybe it is only a question. What should you do? What could you do? In your opinion, what is the best thing to do in this situation to solve this problem? When it happened during the work, who is in charge of doing that? It can be the company tutor, it can be another worker that brings the problem to the attention of the students, just asking him or her what he is going to do. Then we have sorry, I try to okay. Then we would like to see what is the possible quality assessment. In how much time are we able to solve this problem? And with what result? We have a broken piece. How do we solve this problem? Well, we throw it away. Okay, very quick resolution. Maybe not the best one. Maybe the not useful one. Maybe economically not the best one. Again, I hope I answered to your question.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I think that the best way to not to have doubts about this module is to try to fill it. And this is exactly the next exercise that I will give to you for the next time. I give you an exercise in which I will ask you to fill the form following the idea of internship of a student that is attending, I don't know, the second year, the third year. You choose the year that you prefer. You just state it in a situation that you know the best. So you know the best what are the skills that you would like to see inside in a trainship, the activities that you think that the students could do, and the quality assessment, the procedure, everything. You simply try to fill it, and if you want, you can send them to me or put them in the folder that Benedetta is preparing with the result of your exercises. And I will be happy to have a look of all of them and to see and to give you some suggestions, some tips if you need them. So we are coming at the end of this lesson. So I thank you for your attention. I thank you for your questions that are very useful to me to better understand what are the situations that you face, what are the situations that you prefer. Mr. James, I give you the floor.
Okay, good afternoon. It's afternoon here. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, most of the things you covered today more or less focus on what I do in my own unit in the institute here. Especially the documentations with the company when it gets to what the interns should be able to cover and be able to do. Like you said, it's different for every country, it's different for everybody, it's different for every situation. So mine is just putting it here based on you said you also gain knowledge by what we do in our different places. So for every company it's different. You agree on with them, it's not more of a collaboration, but more of they need people to fill a role, and they think your interns can fill it for that point in time. So when it comes to the skills, there's a skill, a training plan we prepare, we send to them, and they should follow. But we've, by experience, learned that within that period, maybe the supervisor in charge, where the interns are under, leaves. The company doesn't, most companies in Nigeria don't have that patience to say, okay, you go through the department, you learn, you do your work, but you learn also. So saying somebody sits with you and babysit you through the system, it's not the way things run here by what we've learned. Some are able to, you're under a supervisor that shows you the ropes, teaches you, explains to you, but also they expect you to move, to carry your weight around when it comes to concerns work. So we've had that experience. We've had experiences where the training plan isn't followed the way it is. Maybe you start from A to Z, but they start with Z and come back to A. So we tend to work with it in that sense. So that's a brief of what it is around here. Yeah. Though there are suggestions you put that we could also fix into our own and see how it goes. So we are dynamic in that sense. Thank you.
Thank you to you and for your contribution, which is very interesting. I can assure you that also in Italy we have a plan that we state, and sometimes it is not followed. Sometimes the company tutors go away and the company doesn't has the patience to give the student another reference. We have to keep in touch to the student also for that reason. What we try to state is something flexible, which is made at best, thinking at the best possible situation. And we are all prepared to adapt ourselves. We are teachers, of course, so we have to be adaptable. It is a specific skill, even as important as the competence that we bring to the students, because if we don't, it is impossible to keep on learning from year to year, from class to class, from person to person. So I absolutely agree with you, and thank you very much for your contribution. So if there isn't any question or contribution, I say you goodbye. I hope to have the opportunity to see you again, maybe in Italy, maybe in your country. I would like to come and visit you. So I hope there will be the opportunity to meet you again.
All right, thank you. Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Yes, yes.
Bye from
We
you.
will invite you to come to Ghana so that
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Elizabeth. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I also
welcome.
invite you in Verona. Please come to Verona, the city of love and Romeo and Juliet.
All right, we will come. We will come.
Mr. Shakespeare was very kind with us. He made us a great fame all over the world.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci, arrivederci e grazie.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Arrivederci. Bye, Abelor.
Good job, Maria.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Patrick. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Patrick. Have a nice day.
Okay,
You
bye
too.
bye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Eric.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Violet.
Bye, Maria. Bye, Benedita.
Bye,
I don't even
Afeni.
read the sausage.
Thank you very much for your
Sausage and
contribution.
sausage. Go.